What's poppin', people? It's Dante, walking around Rome, and today I'm thinking about why black and white, right? Why shoot black and white photography, street photography? Yeah, I think it's an important thing to consider. It's not just for no reason, right? I don't think you should do anything without questioning why, right? So when I consider why I switched from black and white to now photographing or shooting color to now photographing black and white, I consider my relationship to the medium itself, right? And the way in which I've gone about the process of making pictures, right? From the ground up, right? From going out and photographing to coming home and processing the files and organizing, culling, and editing. I actually think that this is critical to consider in terms of the photographic process. And so I actually believe the reason why I've been photographing using high contrast black and white built into my Ricoh GR3 with a small JPEG file is because I actually believe in this sort of fast and speedy approach to making images where you don't have to consider processing color files, raw files in Lightroom, and also considering the weight of the file. How big is the file itself, right? The small JPEGs are around 4 megabytes. This is actually a really big deal to me because I photograph so much, right? I think I photograph more than any photographer in the world. It's very bold, but I believe this to be true. I'm photographing constantly. And I really do think that the speed and the longevity, these are kind of good goals to think about, where you go out and you make pictures in a quick way, where what you see is what you get in the camera. You come home, you don't have to tinker around with Lightroom, processing any files. You get a straight out of camera JPEG, put it right onto your iPad in the Photos app, and then it's a quick process where you don't have to do any tweaking of the files. You just click, favorite, put them in folders, upload to the cloud, import speeds in 2 seconds, everything uploads in 2 seconds. It's just a very fast-paced process that I really do appreciate, where there's no funny business, right? I've had numerous hard drives fail on me. I've always had bad luck with these sort of hard drives and file systems. And yeah, I just think that in terms of why I personally photograph in this high contrast black and white small JPEG approach with the Ricoh is because of the speed. Really, this is a big game changer for me. I always have warm water bottles. I don't keep my water in the fridge. Maybe I should. Look at this beautiful fountain. So yeah, the speed is important, right? How fast does it take to make the photos and cull through them and upload them and publish them? You know, organizing files on my own blog and my own website and hosting things myself and uploading things to the Google Photos is a game changer. Everything's fast. So yeah, speed, I'd say that's like the #1 reason. I still think that black and white is just faster than color, right? I can get a picture straight out of my camera. And then secondly, I'm more interested now in abstracting reality, where I'm not necessarily approaching photography with this like documentary style approach, where I'm depicting reality for what it is, but rather abstracting it and making it what I want it to be, or how I, you know, would like to see it be, right? Where I'm allowing the camera to do the work, and you know, I observe life and I place myself in the camera in a certain way, but what the camera sees is what you get, right? It has nothing to do with the processing later. And I'm not interested in depicting reality. I'm interested in abstracting it to make more artistic pictures going forward, as I've spent nearly a decade photographing in the same way with color. So it's a way for me to speed the process up, to experiment and push what a photograph can be. And yeah, I think ultimately black and white, especially out of the Ricoh cameras with the high contrast cranked to the max, is actually aesthetically beautiful. And I think that the aesthetics are really important. Having the grain, the blur, the sort of imperfections highlighted through the process of photographing with this small JPEG high contrast file is nice. It's a very sublime aesthetic that I'm interested in pursuing. I think that all photographers should be able to photograph in both color and black and white. So going forward, it only makes sense for me to switch up the game that I play and photograph this way. So yeah, those are some thoughts on why black and white photography. For me, it has a lot to do with the process itself. I'm done with these cameras, these lenses, these, you know, this the Lightroom and all this kind of stuff. I like the speed of using the Ricoh with the iPad, the fact that my camera's in my pocket and everything I can get straight out of camera, no editing, no processing, no cropping, whatever. Yeah, it's a big deal for me. It's a big deal for me. I believe in these futurist sort of new mechanical processes in photography, and yeah, I believe it's just a way to innovate going forward. So some simple thoughts on why black and white photography for me.